One of the most common types of firefighting agents is water. Water is effective in a number of firefighting situations. In this program, we're going to look at the use of water and proper hose line handling. We'll also demonstrate the three most common types of water patterns to use when fighting fires in the industrial environment. In order to achieve effective fire suppression, proper hose line handling must be employed, along with good communication and teamwork. Knowing what type of equipment to use is the first step toward achieving this goal. There are a number of industrial firefighting nozzles in use today. When used properly, they can be very effective against a number of fire situations. There are three positions on the nozzle that you need to be familiar with. Open, activated by moving the handle all the way to the back position. Off, activated by moving the handle all the way to the forward position. And half gate, activated by moving the handle to the middle position on the nozzle. Half gate is a particularly useful position to use should the nozzleman begin to lose control of the nozzle, when the emergency is deemed over, or when reduction of nozzle pressure is needed. Selection of a particular water pattern is regulated by adjusting the pattern selector ring on the nozzle. Turning the selector all the way to the right will activate the straight stream pattern. Turning the selector all the way to the left will activate the full fog pattern. The power cone position is activated by positioning the pattern selector in between the straight stream and full fog positions. The power cone pattern can be as narrow or as wide as needed, provided that you're not in either the straight stream or full fog position on the nozzle. As we said at the beginning of this program, good communication, teamwork, and proper hose line handling is essential if effective fire suppression is to be achieved. Let's look at a typical hose team using a 1.5-inch hose line. The first person on the hose handling team controls the nozzle. If a team leader hasn't been appointed, then the nozzle man takes over this responsibility and gives all the hose line commands. Each hose team should be assigned a number or identification. This will help identify each team when specific commands are given. Advance. Sidestep. Right. Sidestep. Left. Down on one knee. Prepare to back out. Back out. Are just some of the primary commands that are used. The nozzle should be held comfortably with the hose running under the arm. If the hose runs under the right arm, the nozzle should be held with the right hand. If you're using a nozzle with a pistol grip, the grip should be held with the right hand. If the hose runs under the left arm, the pistol grip should be held with the left hand. The free hand is used to work the handle and pattern selector. second person provides major resistance against hose line pressure. With his arm at a 45-degree angle, the second man should be able to place his hand on the nozzle man's shoulder. The hose should run under the same arm as the nozzle man. The last person on the hose team is the hose handler. This person keeps the hose from tangling up and loops the hose into an S pattern when moving back. He's the troubleshooter on the team and constantly looks for any problems with the hose. When backing out, the nozzle man gives the command, "Prepare to back up." When this happens, the last man taps the person in front of him on the shoulder and drops the line. The last person then moves back 10 to 50 feet and guides the hose into an S pattern, allowing the hose to drag on the ground between him and the next person on the hose team. When the team advances or retreats, a technique called the firefighter shuffle is used. This technique calls for sliding each foot along the surface in unison. This technique ensures adequate footing, especially on wet or slippery surfaces. Now let's turn our attention to the three most common types of water patterns used in industrial firefighting. These patterns are straight stream, power cone, and full fog. The straight stream pattern is used to reach the fire while allowing the firefighting team to maintain a safe distance from the fire. The straight stream pattern is used for cooling and is generally not used to fight the fire. To use the straight stream pattern, the pattern selector on the nozzle should be turned all the way to the right. The stream should then be directed toward the top of the structure to be cooled. The power cone pattern is used to actually fight the fire. This pattern can be as narrow or as wide as needed, provided you do not go into a full fog or straight stream pattern. To use the power cone pattern, the team should start out using a narrow stream. This will allow for greatest reach and will also provide a safe distance between the firefighters and the fire. As the team gets closer to the fire, the power cone pattern should be adjusted to a wider pattern. A wide power cone pattern provides a great deal of protection and also pushes the flames away from the firefighting team. When fighting a liquid fire, the pattern of the power cone should be directed above the burning liquid to avoid splashing of the fuel. The power cone pattern can also be used for protection. In this example, firefighters on the ground use the power cone pattern to protect firefighters from fire below as they advance up a stairway. Tremendous amounts of heat can be diverted by using the full fog pattern. The full fog pattern can be used for both protection of personnel and equipment. To activate the full fog pattern, the pattern selector should be turned all the way to the left. When using the full fog pattern, notice the fire is sucked into the tip of the nozzle. The flames stay inside the pattern. If the pattern is broken, there is a danger that the flames will break through this protection. Remember, proper hose line handling depends on correct technique and teamwork, and can mean the difference between controlling a fire or having it rage out of control.